Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time. It's semifinals time. That's what time it is in the right-hand side of the map. Playing as Uranos, it's everyone's favorite streamer from Pakistan. His name is Kvoth. In the left-hand side of the map, in the red color, playing as Thor, it's everyone's favorite Norse enthusiast and quality control in terms of all things right, Age Mythology retold strategy-wise, Mr. Husk. Suppe. Both players absolutely insane in their own right with some very, very strong gameplay to come, I'm sure. Both making it through the gauntlet up to this stage, obviously in form and with a lot to prove at this stage of the game. You know, both of these players have had some incredible runs in tournaments before. Suppe, I feel like, got a little bit unlucky in Genesis as to not make it past the qualifiers. For me, he's one of the top players in Age Mythology Retold. And any tournament that does not have him in it is a tournament that I'm like, wow, he got pretty unlucky to not make it there. So he's managed to prove here his ability to make it up to the semifinals. Top 4 for those of you playing at home. Very, 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 very strong player. Nonetheless, relics on this map, let's see how they're going to impact this. We've got that Dwarven Horseshoes, plus 10% over here. Down the bottom, there's going to be Eye of Ornlu with the pacifist bonus damage over there. The right side of the map, we've got Archimedes' Ledger. Going to be reducing that siege population by 1. And up to the top side, we've got the Titan's Treasure. I like all of these relics. As Suppe says, no more chickens. I am going to shank them down. I'm going to get my favor, and I will be working towards some extra upgrades. He's going to be getting copper shields and all the other upgrades in the main base there. Kvoth, on the other hand, what is he going for? That's the big question. Looks like he's going to be advancing here relatively quickly. Temple is down, but what god? Oceanus. So there are 2, for every single god, there are 2 classical minor gods. Sometimes it can feel like there's only 1 for certain gods, but for Uranos, there really are 2. Oceanus is good, Prometheus is good. They work very, very differently than each other as to what your strategy is going to be. As the Oracle here for Kvoth, going to pick up that horseshoes, Dwarven Horseshoes here, and just bring that one all the way back home. It's now Suppe. He's going to be getting himself that copper weapons up. Temple coming through as well. And in classic Suppe fashion, he doesn't care about your fast advance. He doesn't care about your early aggression. He's going to react. He's going to defend. And you're just going to be left there going, why did I advance at 3:15? And how did I let my opponent get away with a 5-minute advance time here? A literal 5-minute advance time. Are you kidding me? He hasn't even clicked up and Kvoth is already in the second age. I don't know what else to say. We've got military barracks double coming through here for Kvoth. And Suppe is just going to sit in his main base and just enjoy life. We see the sky passes coming up over here, so he's going to start teleporting around the map and getting all of the extra hunt and all the good stuff here. Suppe's now going to be getting himself also a Hammer of Thunder in. That's another big, big boost to his economy. He will be running out of gold here very fast because he is going for mass dwarves. Have you guys ever tried this? Here's a challenge for you guys. I want you. It's probably impossible, but it was kind of similarly impossible on Legacy. But have you ever tried to win a game without going to the classical age? I wonder if it could be possible, even against like a standard AI. Give it a try and let me know. Let me know what the hardest AI you can beat without going to the classical age is. There's the challenge. There's the challenge. As Kvoth going to be bringing back that Titan's secret, Titan's treasure. Longhouse coming down for Suppe as well. Empyrean Speed going to be on the way nice and early for Kvoth as well. Yeah, thrill of victory would give you that win. I feel like... Alright, you have to do it online then. Let me know what elo you can get without advancing to the classical age. Alright, lots and lots of barracks here. Suppe is not a... He doesn't like cavalry. He's like, no. We just go 4 longhouses and call it a day. Just 4. No more, no less. 4 longhouses. Call it a day. Huge amount of berserks going to come through. Dwarven breastplate. Medium infantry pre-queued. Suppe's got it all locked up right now. Villagers over here onto the rhinoceros. Is the ox cart just going to be hanging out? Got ourselves Bite of the Shark coming through. Medium infantry as well. As the Suppian units will slowly start pushing forward. And seeing what they can do here. As he moves in, Kvoth gets spotted, retreats into the manor. Can Kvoth win this fight? He does have that carnivore. Going to drop that straight on top. Wait, what? Okay, all right. The Suppe unit's having a little bit of a struggle here as the Herso managed to take this one out, but Kvoth will be able to clean up all of these Suppe units after this, I would have to say. He still doesn't have any sort of... Well, he does have a Termor out, so that's going to be good to try and take out those thrown axemans. Good micro here from Kvoth to retreat away as the Berserks do have their upgrade. Like I have not done a flipperoonie on this one. Let's get that one in there. And Kvoth manages to survive the early game harassment here. Suppe going to have to retreat back, but he's still pumping units out. He's still got tons of resources in the bank. So even though the first fight goes the wayside of the Uranos here, this army of Suppe is just going to continue getting bigger. And he's got all of his armor upgrades. And he's got his medium infantry. Suppe's early game here is absolutely stonking. Suppe starts to try and bash down this manor. One thing to remember with Suppe taking these early fights, even if he loses them, he starts to bank up favor, which translates into more dwarven gold mines, or translates into a whole bunch of trolls, or translates into a secondary healing spring if you want to flex on your opponent. Let's throw an axeman here, starting to get dove in onto. We've got that shockwave coming through as the Berserks charging in onto the Termor, onto the back position there. Termi on this side going to be taking out some of these units beautifully as the Caladria on this side will be tanking a little bit of damage, but more units coming through here for Suppe. He's got a big population advantage at this point here as the Berserks cleaning up all of the Termor. And now, who's on the back foot? Kvoth has managed to fall onto the back foot in this game as 55 favor now in the bank for Suppe to start using in whichever way he sees fit here. As the Citizen's going to be pulling back onto this position, throwing Axeman kind of charging forward here, but the Termor are in, and that's a great little fight here for Kvoth to be taking. As one Citizen goes down, Berserk's charging forward to try and take out a couple more units. You still have to remember these things are packing a punch. 53% hack armor versus 40% hack armor. And that's all going to be basically coming from this one technology here. It does get countered in a way by Bite of the Shark. But I do think here that Kvoth needs to consider a Caraballister or two. As the village is sneaking up onto this gold mine over here. This is classic Kvoth. You're in trouble. Don't worry. Spread out onto every single gold mine on the map. Means that whatever raid happens on whatever gold mine, there's going to be villages that fall, but your gold income is going to continue to come through as the Berserk still searching around on this side looking for things to kill off. Look at the units over this. Well, this Citizen's going to get caught out. Kvoth is going to be caught out here. He's looking for a raid onto this position, but the army, they see a Citizen, and this will mean that there's going to be a revenge raid, but Kvoth Suppe pulls back nicely there to get off of those deer, as now Suppe can just go straight into the main base and attempt to get some villager kills here. Is the Mana going to get sniped down? Soup now throwing down Dwarven Mine into the main base here. A little bit of a depressing gold mine with only 1,000 gold in it, but it will give him resources while the raiding force is out searching for gold villages there. As the mana goes down, Berserk's trying to take things out in the main base. Soup is not going to be caring all too much about the damage that the town center is going to be doing when he's idling citizens here. As now Soup decides, time to retreat out into the middle of the map here. We've got even more Berserks coming through here for Soup. As still, we are yet to see a single Kyra Ballista coming through to deal with this pure infantry army. As Berserk charging in, they're going to be able to take down some of those Terma as the rest of these units coming in to get another bit of a block off. No real ability to get a ghost building in. Soup just going to have to chase down and get as much damage as he possibly can here. And Kvoth back into the main base here. He's now down 40 population. He is down 40 population, ladies and gentlemen. As units coming up onto this right side here for Kvoth, looking for something to do. And Soup back here. See that Bragi coming in. Dwarf going to get taken down as the villagers all going to pull back into this position, retreat, move over onto this other gold mine over here and see what they can do. Soup plays like a Regicide King sniper expert. Exactly. Mass Berserks. Killing kings has never been easier today. Killing your first king today with the very low price of 40 Berserks.
Yo.
Nonetheless. The one thing here that Kvoth has managed to do, and this is really important here, is he's managed to continue to get gold. He's got a Sky Passage over here to retreat away. These citizens are very, very haphazardly placed. It might be worth to delete, or he did delete this Sky Passage. I think he can build another one. It would be worth to throw another Sky Passage up onto that side. As some villagers do get spotted here. This is the damage which Kvoth needs here. Soup losing a ton of units over here onto this position. The army getting caught out. Heroic Age is now in, however, for Soup, so maybe too little too late, as he's kind of just opening up even more population for military units. A couple of citizens going to sneak over onto this gold mine over here. Man, Kvoth still has got gold in his main base. This is classic Kvoth. Vintage Kvoth even. Can we say vintage Kvoth? He's still kind of young. He's one of the younger Age Mythology top players. Battle Boar in the center of the map going to get sniped down here by a couple of those Mermillas as the Battle Boar does push its way out here. No heroes in as the heavy Berserks are through, and Kvoth desperately needs to retreat away here. We've got that Hyperion on the way as well. And Kvoth doesn't even want to play it out. He knows how far behind he is. He knows the next thing to come through is going to be Call of Valhalla. He knows the Flaming Weapons is going to walk into his main base and there's nothing he can do to defend against it. I think you have to ask this question right now. If Berserks are so strong and the opponent's just going to mass them, is there any world in which making Kyra Ballista works here? Now, what Kyra Ballista do is they limit your mobility. So a way around this is to say, all right, leave the Kyra Ballista in your main base, put a Sky Passage down, and then move into these positions with Sky Passages rather than on resources in the corner of the map here or something. Get a Sky Passage on this side, get a Sky Passage over here, run in, get your raid, run back in when your opponent charges in onto this position, leave your Kyra Ballista inside of the Sky Passage until your army comes back, and then you pop them out, and then your opponent's in your main base and you've got a whole bunch of units with Kyra Ballista to deal with those Berserks. I don't know. I'm just giving a suggestion. I feel like you have to build some counter infantry here. Or you have to go for Prometheus and make the Prometheans. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this one, please consider following the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We'll move into game number 2 very shortly. Stick with me. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, in the top side of the map, playing as Set. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the red color playing is Kronos. His name is Suppe. We're in game number 2. This is the semifinals. Win this one and you're in the finals, and you do get, you get a little bit of a handsome reward for getting there. It is the qualifiers, the second qualifiers. Wrath of the Gods, all the good stuff here. As we'll see what these guys are going to come up with. Now, if I know Suppe, and I think I know Suppe, I think Suppe is going to do Suppe things here in this game. I love watching Suppe when he's playing Kronos, when he's playing Freyr, when he's playing Loki, when he's playing Uranus, when he's playing Thor. There's so many. I can keep listing gods, and the gods just the pool just keeps getting bigger and bigger in terms of gods that I think that Suppe is just entertaining to watch. The way that he plays, it's not like I feel like it's just so different than anyone else at the moment, and it's not that it's refreshing or anything. I just think it's the uniqueness, the creativity of it all is just really, really fun to watch. As Kvoth going to be going in to convert some gazelles here. A little bit surprised to see him go in with Set on this map. Elysium, not the greatest of animals on the map to kind of convert. It's basically just gazelle. There's no aurochs, there's no polar bear, there's no lions. It's literally just pigs and gazelle, which are on the one hand, they are very, very useful economic tools. You can bring the animals back to your main base and you can eat them. That's about it. Nonetheless, we're going to see the temple coming up for Kvoth, building more houses up onto this spot. And we'll see what his plan is going to be moving forward. Relic over here, got that Dard Scepter, minus 25% wood and gold cost there. On the left side of the map, we've got Ankh of Ra, plus 0.05 favor per second. On this top position here, we've got the Tower of Cestus with the bonus against myth units there. On the right-hand side of the map, we have a relic that has been stolen already, as he gets blue crystal shard. I do like the early oracle here. I think it's really, really good. Early oracle hero, I should say. I think it's really, really good to claim all those relics really nice and fast, as we will be starting to see Suppe. Suppe's just queued up 3 oracles in a row here to kick this game off. I'm going to go through this little bit of tidbit of opinionated stuff right now. I believe that the temple for Atlantean right now is a dock. And every single game, Atlantean players have got access to around about 6 to 8. No, they've got around about 10 fishing ship spots that they have access to. 10. Whether or not you can actually spend the resources you get from them or not is a different story. But you can get yourself 10 fishing ships on every single map in the shape of oracles. It's so crazy good. I love that Suppe is going for this angle. It's like he's going for an economic boom, but he doesn't have to invest into a town center. Yes, they cost a lot more than a fishing ship, but you didn't have to build a dock. Or you didn't have to build 2 docks. You just live in the dream. Meanwhile, over on this left side of the map, we do have a Gazelle of Set just hanging here. Looks like he's missing out on this one for the moment here, though. So we'll see what sort of concoction Suppe is going to be making on this one as he decides to put this town center up here. He's got himself 2 citizens here that are not heroized. Does not have the Valor, going to be garrisoning into the manor for the time being. Town center getting very, very close to completion here as another citizen will get taken down. Town center finishes up. As the villagers popping in and out, he's got to kind of wait on this a little bit longer as Kvoth tries to get this damage done. The Oracle Hero coming through to deal with the Wadget on the back there. The pair are going to be falling as well. And Kvoth's early game attack ends up failing here in this game. Does the citizen die when it pops out? Yes, it does. could have saved it with the Valor. That would have been the only way to save it there, but a little bit too slow on that one. Or maybe not recognizing that it got hit with all of that poison. I mean, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that you should be able to avoid bleeds, poison, any sort of dot, damage over time ability by garrisoning? Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that's a good gameplay mechanic or a poor gameplay mechanic? What are you guys thinking? Up onto this position here, we've got that town center coming up for Kvoth. See the village is going to turn around and start shanking on this position as the Oracle is going to be retreating back. Promethean Offspring charging forward. I'm going to try and get some villager kills. He's got himself that alluvial clay here as well. So it will be one villager killer to the revenge fire coming in. And Soup says, if you can do this, I can do this too. Another villager going down over here as well. He's getting another one on this side. Kvoth is getting absolutely massacred by these early Prometheans at this stage. Villagers coming up onto this spot here as well. But that is an incredibly strong early game here for Soup. He loses, I think he lost 2 citizens, like maybe, but he picks off like 4 or 5 villages, and he got himself the 3 or 4 villages, and he got himself the earlier town center. So he is going to be absolutely dominating economically moving forward. The question is, what to do next? And it's going to be an armory. It's going to be an armory coming through as the spearmen are going to be chasing in to try and take out some oracles here. The visions come through. And I love this vision usage actually from Kvoth. I missed it, but he's going to be able to pick off a couple of oracles here. Now, he can use that Valor onto this oracle and keep him alive, but that at least will deal with that one as the spearmen have to keep searching around for oracles to kill. He's built these spearmen out. The only real weakness at the moment in Soup's position is going to be maybe these citizens over here. I don't think he's going to get any of those kills with a handful of spearmen, but it's going to be those oracles. On the bottom side here, over here, over here. Lots of different spots to try and get some kills here. We'll see where to next as Hyperion got a choice. Chucking a whole bunch of villagers over onto wood right now and then going into mass satyrs to move forward with a whole bunch of Contarius is such a naughty way to play in this situation, because the tough part about playing Egyptian against satyrs is being stuck in the classical age. And Contarius satyr would absolutely mince anything that they can build. As a Promethean Offspring slowly moving forward, going to be charging after those spearmen over here. A couple more military barracks will start to get produced. As those spearmen will be retreating back. Magic going to come forward. And we will see that Promethean Offspring ending up falling.
And which?
As Kvoth wanders forward in onto this position, another military barracks going to be coming up. Citizen over this side going to just simply retreat back. As more Prometheans going to be coming through. Citizen's going to pull back, jump into the town center. So many military buildings are up right now for Soup, and he's going for Arcus. I guess the idea here for Soup is Promethean Arcus to move forward. Cost wood for the Arcus. Prometheans cost food, and you can just balance your economy. As the Prometheans will be able to snipe down that Wadget, they're taking out the Spearmen as well. There's also 2 satyrs here that he can also like throw down another temple and just go, look at this, I got 74 favor in the bank. He could use double chaos here as well if he really wants to. Soup is in a commanding position. He's just got to convert it. Kvoth there is playing defensive. He knows he has to make something happen, but in reality here, the moment that this game turns into Kvoth's side will be the moment he gets to full population through Horus in this game. If he can get himself to that position, he might be okay here. As the Promethean slowly starting to move forward, we've got those Arcus on the back. leaving the gold mine over here. Up, Spearmen find themselves as an Oracle. This is kind of what he needs to do, but is it already too little too late with the favor in the bank here? Soup now charging forward. We do see a whole bunch of slingers plus the electron bullets coming in as well. Villagers over here going to get sniped down as the priests coming through to deal with this. More villagers coming in onto the gold mine. As all these Promethean with those Arcus going to move over onto this position. We're still seeing those spearmen searching around for oracles to kill. Noticing an oracle on this spot. Soup not paying attention. Will be losing that one. Great commitment there from Kvoth to go after that as the citizens can start throwing down farms all over the place here. As a Promethean going to charge forward. Contarius taking these bad boys out as well. The Arcus on the back going to be dealing so much damage here as the priests are out. And the question really is going to be, can Kvoth micro this? As the chaos comes down, all of those slingers are going to be killing off themselves. The priest getting pushed back over here. The satyr doing huge amounts of damage. The Wadget gets taken out here as those slingers getting pulled into the main base. We'll see what's going to happen next. Walls coming up here from Soup as well in an effort to block this position. 3 Arcus going to take out this Pharaoh as the villagers finally pull off going after that citizen here. Could drop a Valor down to keep this one alive if he really wants to, but instead just retreating away. There's that valid citizen coming in, and the walls will get completed on this position as Spearman are going to be returning back over here. Soup's already 170 of 170 pop. He's lost a whole bunch of oracles. These Spearmen have done work, but, you know, Soup at this point, you can just rebuild the oracles. Sure, it costs 100 resources, but you effectively have to continue sweeping this area. Potentially, an idea for Egyptian would be to try and get obelisks around the map in the mid-game. Try and sneak forward and get those obelisks down and all the other good stuff. Forward palace coming down for Soup as well. Right-hand side of the map, we'll see a villager getting sniped. As the Spearman going to be charging in to try and take out those citizens in the main position here. He's going to be able to jump into that manor and keep himself alive for the time being. Does a little bit of teleport shenanigans there. Up onto the top side. There's no gold income right now. Oh, there's 3 villagers. Somehow Kvoth always manages to get onto these random gold mines, but he's got a mountain to climb here. Will be hitting the heroic age. That means he will be able to get himself Nebti, which should be allowing him to kind of counter this position here.
Greek.
But the problem is he's so far behind on economy. Soup is missing a house, right? Is he missing a house?
Burek.
No? I feel like he's missing a house. I feel like he should be at 190 pop. That's an economic guild. Nah, it's a manor. I found it. If you're not sure and you don't know where it is, you can just Control E and then you'll see it eventually, right? Wait, do you? No, it doesn't even select the... It doesn't select the building foundation. That's a little bit silly. Oh, look at all these Promethean offspring. You know, funnily enough, the Promethean... Alluvial Clay Promethean only costs 2 population. So when you lose one, these Promethean become 3 population. So you actually gain a population mid-fight, but once the fight is over, these are actually kind of somewhat weak as the priests here going to attempt to deal with all of these units. There's mass slingers in the back, need to get forward to take out those Arcus. Going to be going for them nicely, but the priest kind of mispositioning, and another chaos coming down. Ancestors spawning with that on that back there, but the Sage are going to be dealing with those nicely. But the Prometheans here look like they are all getting sniped down. Can Kvoth hold here is the big question, as the slingers managing to take out all of those Arcus. The priest on the back here getting chased down by those Contarius as the Satyr goes down as well. And Kvoth somehow, some way manages to survive here. But if we take a look at the population right now, Soup is about to be repopped very, very quickly. Look at the differential here. I mean, the actual production queue is pretty insane for both players at the moment. as Soup is spamming buildings up, trying to get those resources spent here. Whole bunch of Arcus queued up. I think just mass... I guess Kvoth is going to go... Well, he's probably going to be making Kontari assists. Let me just spam out those spears. But he cancels those up. Migdol's Stronghold got to come onto this location. There is still going to be that deconstruction available, though, as Kvoth knows if he can somehow sneak out Thoth, or actually maybe not Thoth, but I would have gone for Horus here. He could probably use that tornado to hold again, and then you can go into mass barracks units with those Horus upgrades. But he's going Thoth, idea of Valley of the Kings, and trying to get into a position where he's going to be able to generate enough resources to keep himself alive in this game. As Soup pulling back ever so slightly, he's still missing this house. He's still missing this house. But now Atlas is on the way. And Soup is just going to wait this out. He's got no favor in the back. He's lost all his oracles. I must say, Kvoth has done an admirable job in this game sniping oracles. 1, 2, 3. You see, Soup is set up with the market in the corner as well. As it seems like Soup would rather just wait this out than continue the pressure. He's got that. He's got the deconstruction, but there are 2 Migdols here. And Kvoth is now getting what he needs. Time. Time is what he needs. The longer the game goes, the closer to late game it becomes. As the village is retreating back, he deletes that house over there to get back into his home base. As the army needs to get over here and defend. Where is it? Or he's pushing forward. So Priest trying to push forward, trying to take out the Satyr on the back line here. The Destroyer is tanking up a storm as the Meteor gets dropped down straight on top of those citizens here. Arcus getting annihilated here. This is going to be a max value Meteor for Kvoth moving forward. But Soup, he's already on this left side. He gets himself a third town center. He's going to get this one as well. He's going to have Implode very, very shortly, which will do exactly what that Meteor did to Soup, but back to Kvoth. But now we've already said it. This is going to be Valley of the Kings, I'm sure. Is it already in? He's already got Valley of the Kings, which means the Camel Riders come marching 2 by 2 in an effort to try and make something happen here. As the deconstruction getting chopped out onto that big doll there. Still no implode just yet. There's not really enough population out to warrant the implode at the moment, as double Arcus going to be coming forward, and Kvoth in this moment realizes how far behind he is in this game, and Soup manages to convert the insane position that was generated from defending that shifting sands play. I think the only real way for Set to go for this shifting sands play early game is to bring villagers. I think it's the only real way, because you just don't have enough stuff to deny that town center from getting up. Take a look at the post game. We can actually take this from a more analytical standpoint here as well. Total, where is this? Settlements here. The town center comes up at 5, finishes at 5 minutes and 30 seconds, and this while under duress. I think you can finish it a little bit earlier. So at most, you're going to be able to bring at, say, let's say you have to come at 5 minutes. Otherwise, it's basically completed. If you go at 5:10, you might get a villager kill, but the town center is going to finish. So you have to come at 5 minutes. If you advance it 4 minutes, you throw 2 barracks down, you can get yourself out. The barracks take about 20 seconds to build. You can probably get yourself out about 4 spearmen by the time you hit that 5-minute mark where you have to go. You probably get yourself 2 Wadgets out. It's just not enough to stop the town center when they're going to be heroed units, and there's also going to be a couple of Promethean there to defend. So I think the solution here is you just got to bring villagers if you're going to go for the shifting sands. Anyways, doesn't work out here for Kvoth. He tries to bring it back. But Soup races towards a 2-0 lead here. Can Kvoth work this one out, pull this game back from the brink, or will Soup manage to get a very, very swift 3-0 victory over him? See you in the next game. We are back with game number 3. On the top side of the map, it is Kvoth with Ra. His opponent today in the red color playing as Isis. It is Soup. Superlicious, Definitious, currently leading the score 2-0. Can he work this one out? Can he find a victory here? Those are the big questions. But what's more interesting right now is, what is Kvoth going to do in this matchup? It's 1 gold mine Ghost Lake, and he's up against Isis. The hardest thing I would say to defend in this situation would be an Isis player going 1 town center full send here. Surely that's the hardest thing to defend. Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. What else can the Isis player do? 2 town center, semi-full send. 2 town center, fast mythic into full send. Lots of different options for Soup, as the obelisk coming up over here, going to be searching around for things to grab, goats to snatch up. Soup, on the other hand, doing much the same. He's also sent the priest through the middle of the map. It's probably worth it, in all honesty, to use that Pharaoh early game to get those priests, get those goats here. We used to see this a little bit in Legacy, but I'm yet to see anyone go for it in Retold. Like, you do lose out a little bit on your resources, but if you gain a whole bunch of goats for it, I feel like that's almost more important. Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. One big problem here for Soup to overcome is if Kvoth goes for the classical fight and denial of the far second town center. Now, if Soup just goes for like an early prosperity here and builds out a bunch of priests, it's going to be very, very challenging for him, for Kvoth, to actually go for any sort of town center denial. So he's going to have to look for something else after that with his classical fight. But gold mine situation, there's a pretty nice gold mine on this position here for Soup. So if you can get this town center, it's going to be really nice, but it's quite a way away from Soup's base. Though it's kind of close to his home gold mine, so it's not that bad. It's probably a similar distance, in all honesty, from this gold mine to the town centers on both sides. Nonetheless, temple coming up here for Kvoth. House is coming through as well. So the village is just going to come over here and start mining away. Village is onto the lumber camp for the time being here as well. That's more obelisks on the way. Oh, fix the... Apologies. I thought I fixed it already. Apologies. I fixed the overlay. There we go. And Soup, yet again, going for a very delayed advance time here. He's got the resources, he just doesn't have a temple. So this is going to be a fast heroic off of 1 town center, I think, from Soup. There's not really a whole lot of other options here. I mean, technically you can... Maybe this isn't incorrect. Maybe my my theory on this is all off. And maybe there is a world where just advancing later and doing a classical fight, it's fine in specific matchups. So in this specific matchup, potentially here, Soup can go for the later advance. He knows he's not going to have any problems dealing with anything that Kvoth is going to throw for him. But if you do this, you're not going to be able to deny a town center. So it's kind of metagaming in a way. Though, can you deny a town center anyways is probably the question that Soup is going to be posing. I think the answer here is that Soup's going to go for a fast heroic. I hope he proves me wrong and does something wild. Kvoth, on the other hand here, what's he going to go for? 6 villagers on food. On gold, excuse me. Wadjet coming through. Got 2 monuments already. Villagers on the wood. This is not looking like a fast second town center in the slightest here. Getting himself Shadoof. Is this just going to be 1 town center fast heroic? That's kind of wild. Doesn't this play straight into Soup's game plan? Armory coming down. So you see both the upgrades coming in. Soup very, very economically minded. Going to get those adds of wet. Very cheap upgrades. It's only 95 gold total to get all of this out. Relics on the map. We've got that Staff of Dionysus over here. Gonna be boosting that regeneration. Ula's bow is here. This one is huge. On the right-hand corner of the map, we've got that Armor of Achilles. Gonna be boosting those infantry units. Armor just about to finish up here as the ancestors of Nephthys. Nephthys gonna be coming through. And Prosperity does end up getting dropped down here. Whereas Kvoth, a little bit behind on that advance time, he's gonna be going through Sobek. And I have kind of seen Sobek having some success with dealing with mass chariot archers, but so too would camel riders have success against that. This is not the Egyptian war that I'm used to seeing. Not the Egyptian war at all. Market coming down for Kvoth as well, as the Sphinx is going to be charging in onto this position, looking for a little bit of a raid onto this spot. A couple villagers here managing to get away. One more. Managed to get out of there as the Sphinx pulling back. Look at that damage he takes. He's at 175 just from those Wadjet hits on that one there. Oh. As the villagers now for Soup making their way up onto this left side of the map. Does Kvoth have the vision of this? No. As long as the Migdol is outside of this obelisk, he's going to be fine here. Whereas if we take a look at Soup's line of sight, he sees everything. Oh, no, he sees it. I would say, is there ever a shifting sands available here, but I don't think there is. As the Migdol stronghold about to be finished up. Migdol in the main base here for Kvoth. He's still got a little bit of gold left, but he hasn't left his base just yet to get anything happening. Obelisk up onto this position as well. As Soup decides food is what he needs. He's got 8 on wood, so he's definitely wanting to stay in this. He just queued up 9 units into one building. That's a lot of dudes. And we're also seeing Spirit of Mart behind this, as it kind of looks like Soup's idea here is Mass Priest with a Migdol units. This is kind of insane. Is this going to work? Is getting a siege works as well? Wait, is he going to build the priests? I'm going to go ahead and assume. Yeah, there he goes. 5 priests queued up as well. Soup doesn't play any games here with that shift command. He's just like, nah, just give me it all. I don't care. We're not playing around with mechanics here. I know I want them. Let me have them when they come out. It's fine. I'll have them when I have them. Lots and lots of wood in the bank here for Soup as well. As the priests are going to be coming through, he's going to be able to get out a lot of siege towers. And the big question is going to be, can Kvoth hold with his mass Pitsukos? He's also got a whole bunch of those camel riders coming forward. As Soup's got to be very careful taking these fights for the moment. His army is very immobile here. A couple of priests out. Those chariots need to target them down. Ancestor Eclipse now getting dropped. And Kvoth is just out of here. He might lose a Wadjet and a Pitsukos, but he's out of here. Shifting Sands getting dropped. Where's he going? Literally. That, ladies and gentlemen, was one of the Shifting Sands of all time. But Tsukos are able to completely annihilate those units as Kvoth here utilizing that garrison mechanic there to jump straight in onto those chariot archers on the back, but he's bouncing in and out of it beautifully here as the villagers of Kvoth are now starting to make their way over onto the left-hand side of the map, but the army is already moving there. A couple of siege towers starting to come here as well, as those two villages are going to get taken out incredibly quickly. Kvoth tries to retreat away, but too little, too late. Slumber camp getting dropped down. Kvoth does have trading to go into right now. And the question here is, in reality, what can Suppe do moving forward? Camel Rider's going to go raiding. Suppe's got no power spikes left, and he's up against full Camel Riders. As slowly but surely, Kvoth's economy is completely exhausted here as we see the Locust getting dropped down. Look at that damage as Suppe just tanks it all. And the Camel Riders are going to clean everything else up. The Batsukos coming in here to snipe down that Scorpion man as all the Chariot Archers on the back get cleaned up. And the next port of call is going to be Suppe's villagers on this position. And Suppe doesn't want to see it anymore. He says, all right, I didn't get any damage done. Game's done. GG, we'll go next. I really like what Suppe's strategy was here, but I think he shouldn't have built any Chariot Archers. Camel Rider, Priest. Very, very expensive though. Maybe you have to go Spearman here instead. But then you have to walk. Then you walk into the whatchamajigits, the Chariot Archers. Difficult. Suppe tries to make it work here, but I mean, the answers to the clips, you got to hold off on that until you see your opponent move on to the second gold mine and kill off a whole bunch of villagers with it as well, while your opponent runs away. But I mean, we saw an interesting shifting sands use here. That was pretty nice. All resource total does tell a bit of a story of Suppe being insanely far in front. But he just couldn't convert this into an advantage. He's just got so much food in the bank here at this end of the game. 1,300 is not the position you really want to be in. But nonetheless, well played here from Kvoth. If you guys enjoyed this one, definitely hit that follow on the Twitch. If on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. We'll move into the next game very shortly for game number 4. Don't go nowhere. Alrighty then, we're now currently in to game number 4, spawning in the left side of the map here, playing as Hades. His name is Kvoth. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Loki. His name is Suppe. The map is Marsh. And Suppe is yet again on one of his terrifying gods. Loki is a menace, an insanely strong god to play. Kvoth, though, one of the best defenders in the game at the moment. If anybody can defend the sheer aggression that a Loki player can put on, it's going to be Kvoth. Temple coming up in the back of the base. He's going for that early Vault of Erebus. Berserk coming through. Going to be disappointed to see how safe and protected the base of Kvoth is going to be here. As the deer still getting pushed in underneath of this position here. I mean, the more I play with Hades, I mean, not really. I kind of decided this a long time ago. I think it's just better to drop a granary. I do. I think it's just better to drop a granary here than do this hurting. Because if you take a look at the map, it's 2 minutes and 6 seconds in already, and he hasn't spotted anything. And what does this actually mean in terms of the difficulties that Hades is going to face moving forward? Well, one, it means no pigs, which is a big problem. But equally, it means your opponent is going to have all of the pigs. Oh, there's 2 he's missed. At the moment, there's only 7 here. I'm not sure where all the other pigs are. Is there any? I swear there's more pigs on this map. Nonetheless, there's still going to be a very large amount of herdables for your opponent over what you've got, which means you're going to have to be out on the map, whereas your opponent can sit in his base. So where you're going to want to be raiding if you find any advantage, or if your opponent's turtling up, you're not going to be able to do that. Nonetheless, we'll see if Kvoth is going to be able to make up for this deficit. We see a temple in the center of the map here, and we already know that Suppe, he doesn't mind a late advance time. He's like, it doesn't matter. Does he have himself an up? You can't see me, but I got a big thumbs up here. Loki, there is no reason not to get that pickaxe early game. The more I play him, the more I'm like, or even a Herser coming out this early. Wait. He can pre-queue. He's going Heimdall? Guys, Suppe is cracked. He's going Heimdall in a semi-finals. In a semi-finals, he's going Heimdall. Either the power of Heimdall is lost on pretty much every single pro player, or Suppe is flexing on Kvoth right now. More Herser on the map, trying to claim relics. What have we got? Black Lotus over here. Over on this spot, Adamantine Shingles. Over here, we've got that Sharon's Opal to help get those resources back from Villager Deaths. We've got Bridal of Pegasus here, one of the best relics in the game for scouting. Great Hall's coming up. Double Great Hall coming up. And Kvoth is gearing up for a fast second town set. He can't go for it. He can't go for a fast second town center. You've already got the house coming up on this town center over here. And double military academy or military academy archery range comes down. And Suppe sees it immediately. He's going to be dropping that undermine. He misses the military academy here, but he should be able to deny the archery range. A little bit unlucky there, but his undermine is now done. Over here, Longhouse, Great Hall, Great Hall. Now, I guess if Kvoth wants to now, he can go for the town center. Maybe a village center in the main base. I don't know. Longhouse coming down as the Herser are going to turn around. Oh, a nice little blockage there as the ironry is going to be able to send those units flying. The villagers coming over here trying to get a little bit of a path blockage, but not going to be able to trap it as Ajax finds his way through. And he's going to be able to get back home. The raiding cavalry coming forward as well as the Achilles. Going to be looking for a couple of shots here onto that throw and axeman. See if he can snipe that or not. As the Ajax falls, the relic is picked up, and everybody wants Sharon's Opal. I mean, how could you not want that relic? I mean, it's not good to lose villagers, but if you do have to lose them, getting some resources back would be pretty nice. Kvoth already moving out onto his second gold mine over here in classic Kvoth fashion. Hoplites coming in, Toxotes coming in, and we already see Rig Cthulhu pre-queued. Now, for those of you who don't know, Rig Cthulhu makes all of your stuff produce 20% faster. So that means your villages are producing faster. That means your research, your technologies are producing faster. That means your infantry units are producing faster. Your cavalry units, your heroes, your myth units. Literally everything. It does take quite a while to pay, not quite a while, probably about a minute and a half, 2 minutes to pay that technology off in terms of like how many villages you'd actually have out. Still have to pay it off for the resources as well, but it doesn't matter because you're immediately getting benefits from it in terms of just your units producing, your technologies coming through, and all the other good stuff. As Kvoth moving over onto this left side, start taking out those water buffaloes. Seeing what he can do as the raiding cavalry moving onto this position. A couple of houses coming down, but too little too late. Kvoth is reacted, but is it Going to be enough. Looks like it is. He spots another villager over here as that one's trying to come back home. And that's going to be a dead villager. As Soup will have to retreat back home now. He does get stuck over here as a wooden wall is up. As the Pegasus is searching around on this spot. So many. Wait, is he going to get safeguard and go for a town center maybe? Safeguard makes those town centers very, very cheap. It looks like he wants it, but he doesn't have the wood just yet. Safeguard costs quite a bit, so the Pegasus is going to be able to scout that out. Another military academy coming down. And basically dropping the town center would, with the Pegasus scouting out there, would mean immediately that you have to start pushing out. Minotaur hoplites coming through as well, as Kvoth is going to be playing into his god bonus of having those very, very bulky Minotaurs. 368 HP. You definitely want to get yourself access to that Labyrinth of Minos as fast as you possibly can, just so that they can be super effective, I guess. Is now the villagers of Kvoth. Where is he going to go to next? Moving forward to grab the hunt in the center of the map. You also have to remember that even though the villages are equal right now, Kvoth does have that boosted economy with his technology, whereas the boosted economy for Soup is in the shape of free myth units that spawn in the middle of battle. So he has to fight to get those. So the less that Kvoth fights, the better for him in a way here. Soup looking to start putting pressure on the differential in. This has got to be so annoying to be a throwing axeman. You just see a horse flying over you. You're like, let me throw my axes. I can't hit you. It's too hard. Kvoth now looking to move forward here. Soup's got to be careful taking fights at this point. All of his buildings are in the front of the map here, and Soup turns around, decides it is definitely time to take this fight. The raiding cavalry trying to swing around onto the back here as the Minotaur does get pulled back to defend here beautifully. Herso, though, will be able to take out those Minotaur. Restoration here is proving to be very, very strong. Draugr coming in as well, as the Throw-in Axemen, however, have been able to clean up the vast majority of those raiding cavalry here, as Soup trying to micro, trying to take out the Minotaur. There's still one remaining, as all of the Herso end up falling here. There are a whole bunch more raiding cavalry are trying to come through, but it seems like all of those Toxotes get taken out. Population differential does go the wayside now of Kvoth, as he's managed to break through here into the center of the map. Look at all of that favor here. What is Soup going to be able to do with it? He doesn't have... Oh. Oh. Soup, what are you doing? You're dropping relics. I think he's trying to drop it out for himself here, but he put it on the wrong side. Anyways, more units coming through here. This is a dangerous spot for Kvoth to be, because this is right in the middle of where the reinforcements are coming in. Herso coming in. He's got to take out those Minotaurs. Still no Labyrinth of Minos in, as a couple of Herso will be more than enough to deal with the Minotaurs. Good micro here, charging after those throwing axemen, as now Soup has to get those throwing axemen back into position. Great movement there as well. Huge headbutt as the throwing axemen going after those hoplites in the middle here. Herso still trying to finish off the Minotaur, will be able to do so, as the army of Kvoth has now fallen in a big way. You can see the reinforcements all coming up to this position here, as, like we said, you've got to be careful. Defender's advantage is no joke. And now Soup is back into a commanding position. Look at the production queue, though, of Kvoth. He's got 5 Toxotes queued up. He needs more archery ranges. He's got to fix that as fast as he possibly can. Temple coming back up, going to be able to put those relics back in. Losing out on any of those, I mean, losing out on that Tusk of the Iron Boar would be absolutely gigantic. Achilles slowly starting to charge forward here.
Yo.
Soup now going to get those relics in. As he claims all of those back. More Herso coming in, as he's still got to deal with now the Hades Shades as well. These things are myth units, so they get taken out very, very quickly. Longhouse coming up onto this position as well. Villagers coming through here to get the Water Buffalo. As the hoplites looking to charge forward, trying to deal with this one on the middle here. A couple of berserks get converted on the front line as Soup says it's time to go here. Hurst are going to be able to block a lot of that damage on the front, but they're not able to get through onto the Minotaurs just yet. The throw and Axeman on the back going to be doing a huge amount of damage. Gets a huge troll spawn, which will be able to help take out those units in the middle here, but the population differential, for whatever reason right now, has gone severely in favor of Soup here, as he's absolutely managed to destroy the entirety of Kvoth's army. And in that moment, Kvoth decides the game is done and he taps out. GG. Well played by Soup. A solid comeback after that. I wouldn't say disastrous first fight, but definitely not an amazing first fight at all there from Soup. Able to kind of just take the fight with the defender's advantage there. Those buildings allowing him to get reinforcements into the fight straight away, whereas Kvoth was not sending his units forward here. I think if he was maybe just going after the Longhouse first, getting units in, going after the Great Hall next, and just leaving that temple. I know that's where the relics are, and you want to kill that. You want to prevent that from being a thing. Those raiding cavalry are very, very strong with that bonus HP. But yeah, you get yourself out of position in a big way, and that is going to be the end of it. Well played here by Soup. Wins the series 3-1. Going on to the finals here. It's going to be an exciting one. If you guys enjoyed it, definitely considering the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.